So that's who they are. Byron Washington's daughters. I couldn't place them at first.
That's right. Zoe and Sophia's dad is president of the Pax Mundus Foundation. It's the most influential conservative think tank in the last decades. Pax Mundus is like the cradle of climate change denial. I mean, just saying their name will make an environmentalist collapse into a fetal position and suck his thumb.
Huh. So how did two pampered socialites end up becoming treasure hunters?
Boredom, I guess. You know, from what I hear, the twins always had a cruel and restless streak. They studied at Princeton, and let's just say, they made a splash. Zoe Washington bullied a sorority rival named Deirdre Fitzgerald to the brink of suicide. And Sophia was exposed for running a coke ring.
Talk about rich kid syndrome.
Exactly. In fact, that is the very defense used by their superstar lawyer, Ken Morgan of Morgan, Yates & Cohn.
Right, didn't he die recently? In a Bangkok hotel? I heard he was assassinated.
Ah, that's just an alt-right conspiracy. Anyway, after the coke ring scandal, the twins faded from the party circuit. Apparently, they began to travel the world, seeking thrills and adventure. And that's when a chance encounter with Blake Nathaniel in the Congo gave them a taste for fortune hunting.
That Blake Nathaniel, who heads the Ark of Legacy?
I guess it's a small world when you're rich and infamous. Of course, that's where the similarities end. While Nathaniel is a gentleman adventurer, the twins are somewhat more, how do you say, heavy-handed?
You're talking about those roughnecks who always follow them around. Like that Adrian Salazar.
Yeah. Ex-Cicada mercenaries, mostly. Call themselves raiders. Zoe and Sophia employ them on their missions. Word is, they kill and blow up anything that stands in their way. Amnesty claims they annihilated an entire indigenous Amazon tribe while searching for the lost city of Z. But they never found the smoking gun.
Wow. I'm just not sure how I feel about that.
Well, we've been led by an ex-KGB spy for about 3 decades. If that doesn't leave you a bit thick-skinned, I don't know what does. They're fresh blood. That's good enough for me.
Sophia! Speak of the devil. We were just chatting about your adventures. Tell us that crazy story you told me with the wolves.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was up in Yukon territory. Zoe and me were searching for the Valley of the Wendigo when our chopper goes down in a storm. We crawl out of the burning cockpit only to discover that we're trampling around in a wolf's den, right between the pack and 5 mewling cubs.
Good God!
Tell them how you got away.
The old lighter and spray deodorant trick. But not without a few nasty bite marks, though. What can I say? Thank God for rabies shots. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Extraordinary.
Miss Washington. Miss Washington.
How was the test group's response to the DNA Vault initiative?
Actually, not quite as well as the team had anticipated, Madam Chairwoman.
How so?
Preserving DNA doesn't resonate emotionally. It seems impersonal, abstract even. Simply put, your genes are not you.
So we scrap the program?
Not necessarily. You see, once we throw cloning and ectogenesis into the mix, interest increases tenfold.
Ectogenesis?
External womb, Madam Chairwoman. Imagine, mankind is wiped out by some calamity, but no sweat. Deep underground, an AI-guided facility is ready to clone your DNA and grow another you in an artificial uterus. Genetically identical in every way. And combined with whole brain emulation, even your mind can be restored. It'll be like respawning in a video game.
Fascinating. And how close are we to anything like this?
Pretty goddamn far. But this generation may live to be 200. We have time on our side.
Huh. I'll increase your research budget by 20%. Good work. Constant.
Good evening, Sophia.
Well, isn't this ironic? The one guy here who's actually hiding does not wear a mask.
Invisibility is a gift. It's amazing the things you pick up when nobody gives you a second thought.
Ah, let's have it.
I gave you a task. It should have been an easy sell, and yet, I hear the council is undecided. Should I be worried?
I have it under control. Even if that idiot Block decides to veto me, I have an ace up my sleeve. Thy will be done.
I look forward to your machinations then.
Ah, Miss Washington. I forgot to tell you before, a few of the more prominent ARC members were curious as to how 3 of the top Hyperborean suites were already occupied, considering how the bid hasn't even opened yet. In fact, the same thing appears to have been the case with the core suites at the Stronghold facility. Who is getting first pick, Madam Chairwoman?
Ah, yes. Well, some questions are best left unanswered. Don't you agree? Carry on.
Ma'am?
A city in the Arctic. What will the geeks think of next? Look alive, boys. This ain't a vacation. Any of you seen Zoe? I just hope she doesn't accidentally kill someone with that ridiculous ECT device. A fried billionaire is the last thing we need on our hands.
I read you loud and clear, boss.
Anyway, you boys take it easy.
I give up. This level of encryption's out of my league. Whoever sent you this message knew what they were doing.
Well, keep trying. It's important.
What's going on, Sophia? I haven't seen you or Zoe this excited since the Lost Temple in Burma.
Your muscle, Adrian? You don't need to know everything.
Screw that. All the crap we've pulled over the years. You can trust me, Sophia. You know you can. You can trust all the boys. So who was it from?
Fine. You must have known for a while that Zoe and I have benefactors. A group that opens doors and gets you where you need to be. Our father has served them for decades, and now, so do we.
Wait, that hostage tape. The hidden hand. They're real.
Yes. They're the ones who placed us here. They have a plan for everything, but they never contact you directly. There's always a middleman.
Until this morning.
Until this morning. So keep up the trace, Adrian. We'll talk more when I get back. What's so important? I told you, I have a thing. The anthropologist. No, you told me he was dead. You told me you watched him go over the waterfall with a Bowie knife in his back. 9 lives, my ass. Where is he now? Sao Paulo. Laying low. You really need to ask. That squealing son of a bitch is the only witness to what went down in that cave. He saw us cut down a dozen unarmed tribesmen. I don't care if he spends the rest of his days as a washed-up beach bum playing in an Eagles cover band. Amnesty is searching for him, and so is Interpol. If they get to him first, we'll go down for mass murder. Of course he needs to go. And for real, this time? I don't care how you do it, just do it properly. Or I send Adrian to toss you over a waterfall. Squealing son of a...
Sophia, looking larcenous as always.
Blake? I almost didn't recognize you without a knife in my back. You sure got a lot of brass showing your face this year. After the shit you pulled?
Hey, whoa. Whatever beef we may have, the Ark Society is neutral ground. You know that, Sophia. Let's keep this professional, shall we?
Screw you. You crossed the line in the Serpent's tomb, Blake. Zoe and me almost died. And now, you've brought the Cloud Serpent here to what? Gloat? Going public would have made you the most famous treasure hunter alive, and you'd give all that up just to get my attention. Because that's what it's really about, isn't it? My attention. Pathetic, Blake. Just stay the hell away from me, or you will be sorry.
Are we breaking up, Sophia? I can't really tell.
Ugh! Blake, aren't you dead yet? What was Janice thinking with this decor? So drab and heavy. I know he was Russian, but still. For an organization that looks to the future, this is mixed signals at best. Mental note, fly Brooklyn Anastasia out here and let her go minimalist on the joint.
Sophia! There you are. Tell us about that time you were almost buried alive in Egypt.
No, Syria. Zoe and me had just entered the fabled upside-down temple of Nimrod when knights of a secret Franciscan order collapsed our dig shaft. What can I say? Sand was never the same after that. Took weeks before I stopped sensing phantom tarantulas scuttling across my back. Excuse me?
I'll be damned.
Instantiated.
Psst. Care to try something special?
I could go for one of those. But no, I perform better on an empty stomach.
Miss Washington,
I forgot to ask. What are the most frequently asked questions about the Hyperborean initiative?
some of those surveyed asked about security. Will the city have the defenses to withstand a tsunami of refugees? Of course, what they fail to realize is how inhospitable the inland ice is. Only the most resourceful would ever even reach the city walls.
And unless you're on a strict polar bear diet, sieges are out of the question. Yes, very good. Anything else?
Others express concern about political interference. Plenty of nations have a stake in the Arctic, and Greenland is part of the Danish realm. Some members are reluctant to invest millions only to get caught up in some kind of ownership dispute.
That's been sorted out, but we'll make sure to inform the members in the next newsletter. Thank you. That's very helpful. Carry on. A Titan colony. Gotta love it. What's up, guys? Zoe come through here? I worry about that burning effigy stunt she's pulling. I think she's understimulated. Maybe you could take her shark hunting or something?
I hear you, Soph.
Anyway, back to the imminent end of the world. Any progress?
Well, I'm getting more annoyed, if that counts. I tell you, these people do not want to be found.
Keep trying. The partners never contact you directly. We may not get this chance again.
Why'd you want to know so bad?
You really need to ask. Locked doors are meant to be kicked in. Besides, you never know when you might need a bargaining chip.
I know that look. You're planning something, aren't you?
Oh, just following an old business axiom. Cut out the middleman. To be continued, Adrian.
Ms. Washington.
What's the response on the Titan Initiative?
Very positive, Madam Chairwoman. The Titan Initiative speaks to the test group's childhood fantasies of being space explorers. It's barely about survival at all. This is something that people are genuinely excited about.
As I suspected. And they don't mind the modest accommodations. The low gravity. Artificial air? Never going outside without a thermal suit.
Well, few would leave now if they had the chance. But once companies like Ether crack the longevity issue and dramatically increase the lifespan of the rich and powerful, who knows what Earth will be like then? Gigastorms, crop failures. Maybe Titan will seem like an upgrade.
Interesting. Carry on. Wonder if the castle's basement could house a permanent R&D facility. Worth considering.
I'm sorry, but...
Ah, Sophia. Tell us about your exploits in South Africa. What was it you were after?
The Kruger Millions. That was one crazy ride. First time I got shot, actually.
First time?
Oh, yeah. I'll never forget the look on Colonel Duvall's face when that train of his went over the cliff. I would have been a goner too if Zoe hadn't been such an ace with a lasso. Excuse me.
Damn.
Impressive. Come a long way since Janus's shabby doomsday bunkers. Comparing battle scars? If you boys want to earn your keep, you could track down that anthropologist whom you apparently failed to kill in Brazil.
Duly noted.
Anyway, catch you boys later.
So, this group...
You can say the name, Adrian. They're not the Dark Lord.
Fine. This Providence. What do you do for them exactly?
Whatever suits their agenda. Tonight, I'm going to convince the world's top energy CEOs to embrace green energy.
Huh, that's not what I expected.
Read between the lines. Providence has spent decades undermining the climate efforts and causing global warming, while simultaneously investing in climate change countermeasures. You get the picture.
Ah, the bigger the problem, the more valuable the solution. I get it. What a bunch of bastards.
True, but they're our bunch of bastards. Later, Adrian.
Ms. Washington.
How was the test group's reaction to the brain emulation initiative?
I would say mixed, Madam Chairwoman. A lot of interest and nervous laughter. Like people are waiting for us to say it's a joke. Blatant transhumanism is a sensitive subject.
I'm sure it doesn't help that the procedure kills the subject. No refunds, no cashback.
It's a divisive issue. Some people would rather die. Others find the idea intriguing and believe digitization is inevitable down the line, as long as they don't have to submit to it personally.
Figures. Bunch of cowards.
But, according to Sinclair, people are generally much more forthcoming about WBE if they are downloaded into an android body. No one wants to live in the cloud. Having a body, it appears, is essential to the sentient experience.
Interesting. Carry on. Blake better not be showing his face in this part of the castle. Not this year, not after what he did. I can't expel him, but I sure as shit can trip him down the stairs. Bastard.
You know, we do important... Sophia, tell us again about those cannibal cultists.
Well, they weren't actually cannibals, just strung out on opium. Zoe and me were trailing the legendary crystal Tusk of Ganesha through the dark heart of India when we walked right into one of their traps. But even after we threw their chief into his own snake pit, those cultists did not go down without a fight. Our boys ended up burning that whole temple to the ground. Shame about the elephants, though. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wow. Just... wow.
Huh, this gives me an idea. A floating city, just like Laputa. Levitating high above pollution and rising tides. Gotta pitch this to the design team. Jeez, you boys look bored out of your wits. Look, I know this ain't exactly your kind of venue, but look on the bright side. There's a free bar. And plenty of filthy, rich, single women if you feel like settling down.
Sure thing, Sophia.
Any luck on that trace?
Nothing yet. So, I've been meaning to ask, when do we head back out? The boys are getting restless.
All in good time, Adrian.
Before you were appointed chairwoman, all you and Zoe talked about was finding the lost treasure of the Templars. Are you going all corporate now?
Look, the partners chose to approach us directly. It's unprecedented. It's a goddamn burning bush. If we play our cards right, the sky is the limit.
The sky is boring, Sophia. The action is all down here.
That's what Zoe says. She lacks perspective, too.
Wait for me, you creep.
Mental note. Weed out the Victorian and install some contemporary pieces. Feels like an old folks home in here.
For the fucking CIA or something.
Sophia, tell us about those spear-totting Amazon natives.
I'm not sure you can actually tote a spear, but okay. Zoe and I had learned about a map to the lost city of Z, but in obtaining it, we managed to piss off a feral tribe of natives.
How so?
Well, the map was tattooed on the back of their medicine man, so our plan was to get him really drunk and copy it while he slept. But then Duncan, one of our mercs, got a bit too frisky with one of the tribal girls. Fists were raised, guns were brought to a knife fight, you know how it is. Now, if you'll excuse me?
I'll be damned. So, there really was a massacre.
That claim is entirely unsubstantiated, I think.
Heads up, gang. I've got beef with a certain obnoxious coal baron, and if push comes to shove, I may need to dish out some pain. Soap bars and towels, you know the drill.
Got it, boss.
What is it? You look like you've got something to say.
It's Nathaniel, isn't it? He's the reason you've lost your taste for fortune hunting.
Tread carefully, Adrian.
He beat you in the Serpent's Tomb and you can't stand losing.
Enough. If I wanted psychobabble, I'd talk to Dr. Lafayette.
Boss.
Not another word. I have too much other crap to deal with.
Fine. Sorry I mentioned it.
Maybe we should move next year's gathering to someplace more befitting. Top of Burj Khalifa or Shanghai Tower, something with a futuristic feel. Any messages?
Nope. All's quiet.
That Gorka we acquired would look great in here. Shame how it all goes in the Ark of Legacy where we can't enjoy it. Typical Janus. Joyless old coot. Maybe that's a topic for the council, changing the charter. Maybe we need to move the Ark Society HQ to somewhere more glamorous. Zoe's already itching to get back in the field. How do I make her give up treasure hunting? Too old to go risking our lives. Up yours, Blake. Screw you, Blake. Piss off, Blake. Blake, aren't you dead yet?
Sophia.
Blake? I almost didn't recognize you without a knife in my back.
I messed up. I see that now. Can we talk?
This should be good. Follow me. You've got 1 minute.
I did wrong by you, Sophia. I see that now, and I want to make amends. Here, this is rightfully yours.
Well, well. Look who comes crawling back. Leave us. You know, we lost 3 men because of you. Wickus was crushed by a rolling boulder. Jaco fell into a pit trap, and Zoe and me, we only escaped the arrows by using one of the local guides as a human shield. This is a nice gesture. It doesn't even begin to make amends.
I know. May I?
Fine, but not too tight. You know, I thought about sending the boys after you. Grab the necklace and cut your throat ear to ear. You probably wonder why I didn't. The truth is, you beat us, Blake. I don't deny it. And I can't very well get even if you're dead. So, consider yourself warned. You know, old Montezuma thought this thing was bad luck. What a loser. Well? Don't just stand there. Put it on. Of course, I must be out of my mind to... If this is your idea of a joke, you can shove it downtown. I'm warning you, Blake. Tonight is neutral ground, but the next time me and Zoe as much as spot you in the field, our guys will shoot you in the face.
Miss Washington, after due consideration, I have revised my position. I would like to support your motion.
Well, well, look at you, Block. Finding your good sense and manners. Come along, then. I'll call a vote at once. I knew you'd come around. You're stubborn, Block, but you're not a schmuck. You know I'm right. The analysts at my father's think tank have been grinding the data for months, and they are rarely wrong. The Karuna Agreement, climate litigation. We estimate that fossil fuel companies like yours have a decade, at best, before you're all resigned to the junkyard of history.
Hello, sir.
And what kind of secret society would we be if we didn't keep each other in power?
What indeed?
I knew we could talk sense. Just vote in favor of my motion, and I promise you, Block, you'll power the world for decades to come. Who cares how, as long as you're the one getting paid.
Ain't that the truth?
Friends and founders, the recess is over. Let's return to the council room and proceed with the vote. Let's reiterate. For decades, you, the titans of the energy industry, have conspired to obscure the truth about climate change through lobbying, misinformation, and propaganda. This strategy has been incredibly successful. But all good things must come to an end. It is time for you to adapt or die, ladies and gentlemen. This is why our analysts have devised a 10-year transition plan to keep you in power. Play this right, and you will not only thrive, but this time, you will be the good guys. In other words, you have nothing to lose. So, everyone in favor, say aye.
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 Yay or nay, Block? Silence is consent.
Aye.
5 ayes. The vote is unanimous. The motion is passed. And now, I believe a toast is in order to the future. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
To the future.
The future.
The future.
Block. Glad you came to your senses. In this part of the constant.
Well, you did it, Sophia.
I told you. I had Block under control. I can play mind games too.
The partners will be pleased.
Who are they, Constant? Who are the partners?
Good evening, Sophia.
So, everyone in favor, say aye.
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 Yay or nay, Block? Silence is consent.
Nay.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Nay.
Oh, for the love of... Ah, idiot.
Son of a...
Blocked. You stupid. Ugh.
That's 4 ayes and 1 nay. Jebediah Block vetoes the motion. This council is adjourned until further notice. Block. A word? Upstairs. Right away, please. So, are you gonna tell me what the hell you're playing at?
Just looking out for number 1.
Don't be an idiot. There's no future in coal, Block. You have one choice. Go green or go extinct. Now, personally, I don't give a shit if you go the way of the dodo, but you are one of the Ark Society's biggest contributors. We'd hate to lose your business. Besides, if terrestrial coal goes under, who will pay for your children's survival? Your grandkids. After all, nobody says disaster will strike in our lifetime. You have a moral duty to stay rich, Block.
Nice try. But I don't have grandchildren.
You just had to make this difficult, didn't you? Here's the deal, Block. My family and I, we serve a group of powerful individuals who prefer to stay anonymous. Letting the climate go to hell in a handbasket has served their interests well, but only up to a point. You see, they are sitting on some patents that'll knock your socks off. Weather control systems, recycling pollution as fuel, cold fusion, you name it. And they plan to make trillions protecting the world from the very threat they worked so hard to create. But to do so, they need you guys to quite literally stop fighting windmills.
Huh. The truth at last. And what's in it for Jebediah Block?
Gentlemen, please give me and Mr. Block a moment. I offered you a carrot. Now, here's the stick. We know about Montana, Block. The mine collapse in 2015. It would be a shame if the American public got wind of your somewhat creative approach to safety regulations. Your popularity ratings are just south of John Wilkes Booth as it is.
I see.
You have until dawn to change your position and pass this motion, and you and I, we never had this talk. You know who the partners are, don't you, Constant? Hope to be one of them someday? Well, keep dreaming. You'll never know what hit you. Think you're safe, Constant? Think you're in control? You haven't dealt with the Washington twins. Whoever you are, Constant, your days are numbered. Zoe and me will take your place, just you wait. Block. Think about what I said. Think good and hard. Constant.
Well?
Minor setback, that's all.
The council rejected your proposal, Sophia. The partners will not be pleased.
I told you. I have an ace up my sleeve. Block will come around.
Don't let me keep you then.
Hi. You want to try something different?
Screw it. I could use a pick-me-up. Mr. Block, please take your seat. Mr. Block, everyone is waiting for you. If you would be so good as to take your seat. Block, what are you, 5? Take your seat and let's get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, due to unforeseen circumstances, the vote is postponed until further notice. I apologize for wasting your time. The council is adjourned. Cat got your tongue, Block. What say you? Right. I will have to interpret that as an aye. The vote is unanimous. The motion is passed. And now, I believe a toast is in order. To the future. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
To the future.
The future.
Please help me, God!
Come on, what about my sister? Do you know what happens to twins when one of them dies? This isn't funny anymore. Listen, a guy like you, you've got skills. I've got skills. We could get things done in the world. I know you don't want to waste that. This can't be happening. I haven't even peeked yet. You think you're the first person who thought they had the better of me? Somebody help me! Somebody save me! Oh, God! Ha ha!